The Alabama nursing student who claimed she stopped to help a toddler she found on the side of the road, then saying she was kidnapped herself. Tonight, she's now facing criminal charges. So what really happened here? Here's ABC's Elwin Lopez.
Tonight, Carly Russell, the 25-year-old Alabama nursing student who confessed to faking her own abduction, now facing charges.
Her decisions that night created panic and alarm for the citizens of our city and even across the nation, as the concern grew that a kidnapper was on the loose using a small child as bait.
Russell calling 911 from her car the night of July 13th.
I am on Interstate 459, and there is a kid just walking by themselves.
Do you mind staying and keeping an eye on them until we get there?
Yeah, okay. Sure, yeah.
But disappearing by the time police arrived. Police and volunteers handing out flyers searching the area. 49 hours later, Russell returning home, first claiming she was kidnapped and escaped, but ultimately admitting that she had made the whole thing up.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for Yellow Hammer. Now we've got to talk about a new bill being proposed by Wandolyn Gavan to make sure that we handle the issue of missing white woman syndrome. Yes, missing white woman syndrome is apparently something the media and academics have declared happens when a white woman goes missing, while an African-American woman goes missing. Nobody seems to care. This, of course, flies in the face of what we've seen when the Carly Russell case was taking place in Birmingham. Seemed like that got an awful lot of attention, as is pointed out here in this newscast right here.
And along with that issue, one topic that keeps surfacing in the aftermath of this hoax is what impact it could have on kidnapping cases in the future.
Many fear that it could harm the chances of people of color being safely found. Our Taylor Pollock spoke with one Alabama lawmaker who wants to pass a bill that would put a spotlight on those people should they go missing in the future.
I want to just stop right here and just think about the premise here. The premise here is that if it was a black person who's missing, people don't care. And I know they're going to focus on the media and stuff like this. Maybe these people should be having this conversation down the hall, like in a news meeting or something, and talk to their fellow coworkers about putting attention on issues like this when they happen to African Americans. But can I just say this? The Carly Russell case got a lot of attention. It was a fake kidnapping, but it got a lot of attention. It wasn't as if she wasn't being looked for. In fact, she absolutely was, and people were very much worried about this. So I'm not sure I understand this argument they're making here. I think they just think they have to make this argument because a legislator is saying this. The evidence is questionable on the whole missing white woman thing, but we'll hear about it anyway.
Taylor, tell us more about it.
Yeah, Lauren, Catherine, this bill is sponsored by Representative Wandolyn Gavan, and it would put in place something called an Ebony Alert, similar to a Silver Alert for missing seniors or an Amber Alert for missing children. An Ebony Alert would be issued for black people who fall under specific guidelines. Representative Wandolyn Gavan says that across the country there are disparities when it comes to black people who go missing, and she's not alone. Harvard University, the National Institute of Health, and countless other institutes and organizations have found evidence that people of color may not receive as much attention as people, especially women, who are white, a phenomenon commonly referred to as missing white woman syndrome. Carly Russell's fake kidnapping garnered a lot of notoriety. Representative Gavan says the hoax is an embarrassment to the dozens of families across the state who still have missing loved ones, and that this bill needs to be filed now more than ever.
I think it's very important. I'm just hoping that she didn't do, but because of what happened, that it doesn't taint the process. You know, we're dealing with across the aisle negotiations every time we go into that building. I think it probably would have been easier to get the bill out before this happened. But who knows? You know, I fight for a lot of different causes, and I'm still going to fight for this one.
Representative Gavan intends to file that bill the beginning of next week. Lauren?
Let's be clear here. This bill goes absolutely nowhere because it's an unnecessary bill. If you want to do something like this and you want to put out an alert for every missing person that's out there, do that. Do that. The idea here is not to specifically focus on different things and constantly divide by race, even on this issue. White, black, brown, yellow, everyone cared that Carly Russell was missing. Yes, it was a hoax, but everyone cared. There was not an idea that, well, she's black, so nobody cares. That is not a thing that normal people do. Now, maybe the people in the media do this. Maybe they focus too much on a missing white woman here and there. Maybe that's what they do. Take that up with them. You're not going to be able to pass something through government. And if you do, let me ask this question. Let's say one of these missing white women go missing and they don't get the ivory alert, or whatever we would call a white person missing alert. Why would we not do that? Why would we not, if this is what we're going to do and alert every time someone goes missing, send texts out to people's phones and things like this, why don't we just do it for everyone? If you want to make that argument, go ahead and do that. But singling out a particular race on an issue like this is just dumb and divisive. But Wandalyn Gavan, she kind of falls into that category a lot. There's no reason to do it, and there's no way it's going to pass. If she wants to be serious about this, have a conversation across the aisle, as she says, about these issues and whether or not this stuff helps find them, the people who are missing. And if it does, expand the Amber Alert to people over the age of 18. It's really that simple. The reason they do it for children and the reason they do it for senior citizens is because they feel like those individuals are less likely to be able to help themselves, and they're in far more danger. That's the logic behind it. If you want to expand that, go ahead and do that. But this isn't the way you do it, not by race. That makes no sense.